Oh, here it goes. Back at it. Oh, we back. My man, Will. What's cracking, man? Hey, Doug Smith got Will Lowery here. Back for another episode of Beyond the Fairway podcast. If you haven't heard, Beyond the Fairway, we bring a point of view from a completely different clubhouse. We take you beyond the scores and highlights to discuss the game of golf and its barriers for minorities and this new emerging culture. Hey, coming up this week's episode, Will and I are joined by one of the longest hitting golf ball guys in the world. 2018 World Long Drive champion Maurice Allen is with us for this week's episode. But hey, first we gotta get back into it, Will. Hey, how was your weekend, man? What's happening? I know you was playing some G.
I was, man. I went to the I played in the Advocate event and
the APGA Tour event, right?
APGA Tour event, yeah.
There it is.
Best thing I can say is that I played with the same tee for 2 days.
Congratulations!
So that's how good as it went. I just had winter rust, man. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but just it was tough. But one thing I can say, what I took away from the Advocate event was the fact that because of Willie, it seems as if it was a little more intense out there. I felt like everybody out there was about business, and it's not saying that. It's not like that prior, but, typically when all the guys come together, it's not typical every black golfer in America comes together. But in this case, with this particular week, with Kamayu and Willie, all the stuff they had going zones, I had to say, man, everybody looked a little more focused, and I really appreciated that. That was something that was a new experience for me.
I figured with Willie out of the field, some people there was another spot somebody could earn some more money since they had to worry about Willie being there.
I was happy that he was out of the field. I just knew Will Lowery was going to do some work, but then they still have Mother Nature. She was still there, so she exposed me for sure.
Well, I thought it was exciting. I did get to go down and play. Got to spend a little time with Will. That's the first time I've seen you in like 3 years, dude.
That's crazy.
Good to see you. Like we doing this, but you there, I'm here. It's wild. But hey, we got to spend some time with Seth Waugh and really pick his brain. For those that don't know, Seth Waugh is the CEO of the PGA of America, and Will and I, he's gonna be on here. He said he'd come on and stop by. I doubt he'll be as beyond the fairway as he was with us during the round of golf. But look, let me say this: it was fantastic to get to spend that little bit of time with Seth. I really enjoyed just how chill this dude is. Like the guy that's leading the PGA of America is probably one of the coolest cats. I am waiting for him to do some things in the space. I think he's made some strides, and I think he's going to keep pushing the envelope forward as some of the conversations that we had will. But hey. We talked about it. You were at the APGA event. Willie Mack was not, as he was in L.A., battling Riviera. Hey, wasn't the week he'd expected, but I tell you what, a lot of positive takeaways for Willie. Dude played well first round. And, I think it goes to show that when you get up against that cut line, you've got two options. You stay patient, or you begin to press. And if you begin to press, those are where some of the other numbers can come in. And with 18 holes, with the back nine to play, I think we saw Willie get in a situation where he felt like he needed to make something happen. And unfortunately, some numbers came as a result. But fantastic showing, had some new club and equipment in the bag. But I think the world knows, man, Will, he's actually a force and somebody to pay attention to moving forward.
I absolutely agree, man. I'm not saying that. I mean, in the golf world, I want to say he may be just short of a household name. Even during my my practice round, he's definitely a black golf household name.
Oh, he's black famous. No, Willie's black household name.
He's that black man famous.
He's that dude.
What's that black dude?
The Mac. Mac,
Mac
three
Jr.
Macs.
Yeah, okay, three Macs. Yeah.
Hey, it's like that dollar menu. Or let me get 3 Macs.
Right, exactly. but the thing about it, man, like I gotta say is that I was proud of him. Like I can't tell you, that was probably the most anticipated Thursday I have been waiting for, maybe since a major. I don't know, maybe Yeah. And so I was looking at every shot link, every shot. I saw all kind of yellow lines to points on the PGA Tour app. So like I said, man, and I can only imagine when more of African Americans get out there and play, or people of brown and black and brown, so to speak, it's going to be fun and amazing, and I was excited by that, and I'm so happy for my dude. I felt like he really looked like he belonged out there, Doug.
No, he had a certain swag to him, man. He
had a swerve, man. He was just walking gracefully.
Fighter in there, like
yeah,
like he had that, like
Yeah.
But hey, changing gears, because what I am excited about, Willie. Your pick, your guy, your boy, standing all of 6'4", Tony Finau. What? Oh, man.
I know.
Will, before the week, I thought you was crazy as hell for picking Tony Finau.
I know.
Because he hasn't been able to finish.
I know.
Thought Homa tricked it. Thought he tricked it.
He did.
I was like, Tony. I was like screaming, Tony finally got one. Nope, not this week, Tony.
But think about it though. Like there was another picks I had, and I picked Homa as well. So because Homa's a hometown kid, he grew up right around the corner. But I really
damn Homa.
I did pick Homa. I did pick Homa.
Where'd you pick him at? In points bets?
Well, I can't say DraftKings on here. So but yeah, so I mean it was close. I think we are going to win. I do predict this. Finau will win within the next 4 starts.
That's not going to happen, but I will say this. It is that time. It's that part of our show where we got to go to Beyond the Fairway. And guess what? This dude hit the ball over Niagara Falls. I don't know where he's going to go with it. Let's bring Maurice Allen in here because this should be fun.
Man, somebody asked me before how I feel, so I guess the best thing I can tell you is you talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, jet limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I got the hardest time holding these alligators down. Now give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
We got Maurice Allen in the building. I got to know. I mean, where did it come from? What made you start it? Are people scared when you say it?
And when's the last time you had some alligators on, man? I want to know where them gators is at that you keep talking about.
Last time I saw him with gators, he had alligator shoes with turtleneck attached to it.
First things first, man. I got some all alligator Jordan 1s that was custom made, so I keep some. Yeah, so you might not want to go that route with your boy. But anyway, where did it come from, man? Truth be told to you, man, my training partner back then was this guy named Tuck, man, Michael Tucker. He lives in a little north of Atlanta. And we were on a rain delay that particular day at that tournament, and it was crazy. They allowed us to play music and everything like that because it wasn't live. So it was something that we were able to do and kind of get in our mode. And, my phone started buzzing and going off. And I never, ever read my text messages because I don't want to get into some weird, funky place. Every golfer knows all it takes is one thing to put you off. And I had a text message from Tuck, and he didn't know we were going early. He was like, "Hey, man, you win your first match, man. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair." And that was seconds before I walked up to the tee block. And what you see is what you get, baby. That's it.
That was impressive. Absolutely. That is your first time.
I messed it up, though, a little bit. I stumbled just a tad bit. But, we still pulled it off.
Nobody caught it.
No, everybody, he caught it. Doug caught it.
I caught it. I'm not going to. You brought the plane in a little stanza early. But it's cool. I'm not mad at you, Maurice. Yeah. But Maurice, it's good to have you in here, man, especially at this time of year, this time of season. We just want you to know that you are not a Black History ask to be on this show. We appreciate you doing it, though. No, I'm saying because you know just as good as I do. Right, you know just as well as I do that a lot of the Black minority African-American involvement from all these organizations, the ABC organizations of golf, this February, it's our month. It's our time to shine. So we want you to understand, no, you are not here. But I do want to get your take on the rush of a lot of the golf industry to get their Black content in during the month of February.
Okay, so I hate to answer a question with a question because I was taught that that's disrespectful. But what rush are you seeing? Because I must have missed it.
Oh, it's fair. That's fair.
No, I mean, I look at PGA of America, I will start there. Actually, no. Excuse me. My apologies. Let me start where respect is due. I will start with the LPGA and the Semester Tour. They did it right. They did it the first day. They did an entire recap from Althea Gibson, Renee Suggs to Leanne Suggs, Renee Powell. They went, and then all the way up to Shasta, Cheyenne, Sedina, McCarabee, Lexus. They went the whole spectrum, and they did. I think it was like a 2-minute video that they put on both of their channels. Golf Digest. They did it right. They've been putting out stories based on experiences from people all through the walks of life of golf. Some professionals, some executives, all kinds of people have been doing their thing, and that's where it stops. The PGA of America, I think they did their first hashtag celebrating Black History Month like a couple Days ago. And they did some things. I think it was a post with Clay is when they first started coining that. But they put Black people up earlier. But, there's Black PGA professionals. So it shouldn't have, what we're seeing shouldn't be, unless you're talking about the past and actually making an effort to actually make that post nothing but Black History Month. You should see people all year long in all these manufacturers, all these organizations, but you actually don't. No. They did Women in Sport Day, which I think was February 3rd. A lot of people posted about that, and they made a specific post towards that. They didn't do it with Black History Month. They did it with Umbrella Day, which was a kind of play on with Arnold Palmer, and I get it. He definitely deserves the respect. I have no problem with them showing him that respect. And then they did it with Happy Gilmore, right? So I'm looking at these people who posted these things, and I'm like, well, man, y'all posted this, but, Joe Louis doesn't exist. Jim Thorpe doesn't exist. Ted Rose doesn't exist. Lee Elder doesn't exist. Yeah. Charlie Sifford doesn't exist. And I can go down the list of people, male and female, and I'm like, man, all these people did all this hard work, and they put in all this blood, sweat, and tears and had to overcome things that we definitely don't see today, only for them to be forgotten.
But let me hold on. Let me interject for just a second. Despite, I gotta kind of
devil's advocate. Go ahead.
It's not so much devil's advocate, maybe angel's advocate, but despite the statement from the PGA of America about George Floyd, PGA Tour doing a moment of silence, PGA of America also attaching themselves to the advocate. Are you still at a standstill as if inclusion is actually happening in golf?
I'm gonna ask you a quick question. You work 40 hours a week, and I decide to pay you for 20. We good with that?
Hell no, we ain't good with
that. Not at all.
So what I'm saying is that's exactly what's happening now. The APGA has been around for 13 years, man. So them just starting. George Floyd was not the first person to get killed. Trayvon Martin was 10 miles from my house, man. I was home that day. I remember when that happened. These people weren't shocked and appalled at that point. You played golf, Doug. We're not going to get on the time frame, but you're a past golfer, right? It seems as though
present either way.
Well, collegiately, you were a past collegiate golfer who was a very good golfer. How many offers did you have coming out of college where major OEMs were looking at you or even taking notice of what you had accomplished, and you won a national minority title? So the lack of respect that goes to minority golfers is absolutely ridiculous. You can go on any of their posts, and everybody says all the time, "Oh, but what about Tiger? What about Tiger?" Okay, no. Yeah, number one, if you can name one person that is actually the epitome of racism, well, I got one black friend. Yeah, okay, that's cool. And it's not a lack of talent. There's tons of black talent that's out there on the male and on the female side, but the respect is just not being given. So, I'm never going to be a person who says, well, we're moving in the right direction or something like that. I remember at church one time, my pastor was talking about, people being in these toxic relationships or all these other things. And he was like, if you have a person who's putting their hands on you and they're hitting you, do you want them to work on stopping hitting you, or do you want them to stop hitting you right at that moment? And at what point in life is the golf world going to be so shocked and so appalled where they're going to say, okay, just a little bit more isn't enough. We have to give people the respect that they've earned, and we have to show that. And that all starts with, the OEMs and the publications. If you go on golf.com, it's probably the best example ever. If you go on these comments, man, you see some of these comments going on, whether it be the post about Willie, the post about Kamayu, the post about, they made one about Mariah. And these comments, man, are so racist. And the thing is, that wouldn't happen if the OEMs and the media people actually plugged Black history or plugged Black people out there, if people saw it enough, they'd get tired of it would change their opinion. It would change their perception. It would force it on them. I don't care if it's forced or not, because at the end of the day, we did all of the work. The people in the past did all this work. And that respect is just, it has to happen. It's got to happen. It's golf is supposed to be the leaders, man. You know, if you look at people who are running these Fortune 500 companies, brother, who you think is running them? They all got golf memberships somewhere. Most of them play golf.
Well, paint a picture for me, Maurice. Paint a picture for me. What does golf look like in Maurice? What does it look like in Maurice's world? Paint the picture for me.
The picture is this, man. We live off of these 9 core values that the first T is coined, but we live off of them in theory. We don't practice them. You know, if we're talking about ethics and moral fiber and all this other stuff, you know, integrity and so on and so forth, you know, you have to walk and live in those things. Golf is a game that was established for kings and queens. So it wasn't and nobles. It wasn't, quote unquote, a common person's game. When you look at this game, it's a game of physical chess, right? So we're expected to be people who are supposed to be the trendsetters, the leaders, the trailblazers in this world. So what I would like to see, number one, is February 1, February 2 at the latest, there should be a post about people who have been in the past. You know, your Charlie Siffords, Ted Rose, you go down that list, because all of these people have touched this game, which has helped all of the major OEMs.
Hold on, Maurice. Hold on. I'm going to stop you, because I feel like I want to hear you say something, but I'm going to ask anyway. You just said you feel like on February 1, X, Y, Z and should happen. Why does it have to be just a February or a Black History Month?
Well, I was starting there. I wasn't going.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure. All right, my bad.
I'm starting with our month and our recognition, because they recognize Women in Sport Day on that day. They recognize International Women's Month at the beginning of the month. They don't wait until the 15th and 16th and 21st and 22nd to throw those days. Oops, my bad. We're going to throw this out here. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing, is recognition. If you look at any conquered people, you know, any conquered civilization, what ends up happening, they become whoever the conquerors want them to be. Because the first thing the conqueror did was they killed all the people, right?
Eliminated religion.
And then they eliminated religion, but then most importantly, they burned all the records. So if all y'all dead, then I get to tell the world whoever I want you to be. That's a problem. See, so when you look at it, right, and in the United States, they have this thought process of freedom isn't free. I had this conversation like 2 days ago. All right, well, let's play that. Let's play that freedom isn't free role. All my patriots out there who are going to listen to this.
Put this in golf terms now.
No, this is in life terms. This ain't even in golf terms. This is life terms, brother. Just check this out. Okay, so if freedom isn't free, right? Because that's what, now you have to remember, the other side of your golfing world, there are a lot of patriots. Everybody got the American flag head covers, and they do all this golf stuff, the U.S. Open, the America's Open, everything. So it still is there, right? So if freedom isn't free, okay, people who came here, everybody came here. America is a melting pot. There are groups of people who came here to better their lives. Nothing wrong with that. All good. There are people who came fleeing political persecution. If they was Black, they would call them fugitives. And then they came over here, and they had the opportunity to make a living, and they were here with with food and all this other stuff, just like you saw in New York when they brought people in and they all went through the Statue of Liberty and they signed a name and all this other stuff. Okay, cool. Now you look at us. We were brought here in the ships, cargo. Something went wrong. Somebody got sick. We got thrown off the edge. Expendable. We're the only people who came here as a good, you know what I mean? As something, a possession. Everybody else came under on free will. So this world, this earth, everything that you have, this gets to golf, don't worry, is all stained with the blood of Black people, okay? So then when you start looking at it, all your golf courses, many of them were plantations. Many of them, especially here in the South, they were old plantations. That land was harvested. That land was cultivated by who? Black people. When you look at the early portions of golf, who put in all of the maintenance, all of the caddying, all this other stuff until there was money in it? Your greenskeeper, all your people who were your agronomy people before agronomy got real and big were who? Black people. Why? Because they were servitude jobs until the money got there, just like you saw with the caddies. Until the money got there, all the caddies were Black. So when we're saying freedom isn't free, well, then the better question that you should ask is, well, who has put in the most skin in the game? Who has sacrificed the most? Who has lost the most? Us, At the end of the day, I don't care how you want to look at it. That's just as real as it gets. This is nothing more than facts. As a grand total, how many black people have been lost? And so what is happening now when you look at golf as a whole, pre-Tiger, how many black people are on the PGA at one given time?
More than they are now.
Right.
Boom. Post-Tiger. So since everybody wants to bring up Tiger into the conversation, how many people have played in one PGA event together? How many black people?
I think the most I've seen in one event has been 4. I think Will, Cameron, Harold, not Will, not Willie. It was Tiger, Cameron, Joseph, and Tim O'Neill when he got to start at the Genesis a couple years ago. It was 4,
That's it.
I think.
4, and at any point, 4 is it. 3 is a stretch because you'll get Tiger, Cameron, and Harold. You might get Tiger, Cameron, Joseph. Harold, Joseph, depending on the week if he's playing. But 4. So when everybody wants to talk about, this post-Tiger renaissance, okay, cool. But where is it? Where does it exist? Where's the opportunity?
It didn't exist. No, it does exist.
Where's the opportunity? And so when I'm looking at social media, and now we have to always tie back into the social media part, right? With the social media thing, the thing that you have to look at, my brother, is everybody said when we sat there in 2020 at the PGA merchandising show and USGA and all these other people sitting up on the panel, they said, we're trying to influence the kids and get them into playing this game, get them to understand this game. We're going to move forward with this, and we're really sheltering towards the youth. Youth look at 2 things, man. Instagram, TikTok. They don't look at Facebook because their parents on Facebook. They want to be far away from their parents. How are you going to influence the kids? Well, if you put a Doug Smith up there who's an influential person in his area, if they put a Will Lowery who's an influential person in their area, and then you all are posting. So this goes back to your whole thing, Doug, about all year outside of February, right? Yeah. These kids aren't going to go to the USGA website. They're not going to go to a TaylorMade website. They're not going to Callaway and all the OEMs. They're not going to do that because they're not involved in the game. But they may follow you two. And when they see you two posting about it consistently, or they're seeing you all repost, and see, not you all posting like you're a fan, but people actually bigging you up. And they be like, oh, man, all right, I see that this person is posting Will or this person is posting Doug. Man, let me see what this is all about. And then that's how it continues to grow, and that's how you get them involved. But they have to see something that makes them feel comfortable. And they don't have that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they had, and I don't mean to switch gears, but I do a bit, because I want to get your take on the events of the past, I guess you could say 3 weeks on tour with Willie and Kamai. You getting the chance to play on tour. But I want to say, like, from your vantage point, Maurice, and you know, as I hear you talk, it feels like you carry around this, like, weight of blackness on your shoulder. Like, it sounds exhausting.
Malcolm X out here.
I know he's the Al Sharpton of golf.
No, man. It's deeper than that, man. I had the privilege of playing golf with Calvin Pete about 3 months before he passed away. I didn't know he was sick, and I made the awful mistake, which was fortunately corrected by Calvin himself. And we were right there at Sawgrass, hole 13. I'll never forget it, as long as I live, man. He was like, hey, young man, I've watched you play all the way up into this hole. Whatever you do, don't quit this game. And I'm just sitting in the cart with him. I jumped out the cart to be like, and I swear, I promise you, I was not brushing this man off. I was like, all right, Mr. Pete, no problem. Yes, sir. And I went and hopped out the cart. And I'll never forget, man, he grabbed my forearm and pulled me back in the cart. He said, young man, I want you to look me dead in the eyes and promise me you won't never quit this game. Ironically, I was about to quit. I only went there because my uncle made me play. He made me go that day. I was not going to quit. I was actually going to quit. And, you know, he made me look him dead in the eyes, and he held my forearm, and he said, repeat after me, promise me you will not quit this game. And a couple months later, man, he gone.
So what did that mean to you? There seems to be a deeper meaning or a different level that he was trying to kind of resonate with you on. What did that moment mean to you kind of as you look forward now that we don't have Calvin with us?
You know, it's like a passing of the torch. You know, I don't know if you all believe in quantum physics or energy or any of that stuff, but, you know, Jay-Z talks about it quite often when he talks about, you know, legends don't die, they're just multiplied. He always talks about the same day he was born was the same day that Fred Hammond was assassinated, Chairman Fred was. So right. That energy that left Chairman Fred, he believes, went into him. And sometimes you can be around certain people and they can know something that's going on that you don't understand, and they can channel that into you. And, you know, Mr. Pete had probably seen tons of people play golf. And for him to sit there and say that to me, he didn't have to say it. I didn't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. I've had a few conversations with Mr. Elder, and Mr. Elder told me, you ain't here to make friends, you're here to get the job done, and I expect you to get the job done.
So when you talk about, passing the torch and getting the job done, I want to kind of bring up one of the things I'm so proud that you're doing is the Grow the Game initiative. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, man. I know what 50 grand did for me at the end of the day. I had a person who's very close to me. One of their friends asked me what was the difference between me and the number one long driver in the world at that point. And I was like, money. You hear that all the time with golfers, money, money, money. But he convinced someone very close to me to give me 50 grand to go out there and play. And I went from, a guy who was reasonably competitive to one of the best in the world, literally within 6 months. It did not take long. And I believe that if I'm going to ask the rest of the world to respect black golf, if I'm going to ask the rest of the golfing world to highlight black golf, then I need to find a way to be the catalyst of all of this. And I need to find a way to raise money. I need to put together a system where people can trust. They believe in me. They know what I'm all about. And that will allow them to believe in the system as well. So Grow the Game, we started, man, 3 men, 3 women, 3 black men, 3 black women. Give them 50 grand to go out there and pursue their dreams of playing on the PGA and LPGA tour. They go through a selection committee. They have a process that this application is super big that they have to fill out. And the point in doing that is if they're not selected, they should have all the information that they need to go and try to get sponsorship from any other company out there. We're really just trying to groom professionals and get them ready to go out there and play on the big tour, because if we're talking about starting with the youth, we have to give the youth role models.
And this is every year, correct? Are you doing this every year?
So the goal is to do it every year. There'll be I don't know when this actually comes out, but there'll be an announcement in a couple of days. So we'll put this. It'll be an announcement that's out there. Hopefully, it'll go big. Golf Channel will pick it up. But I definitely.
So just I didn't mean to stop you on that. My fault. I'm excited about what you're doing. My fault. But just.
Hey, Maurice, you see his eye? He was like, hold on, please. It's like the one time he had to answer in class. Like,
Man, hold on, man. I ain't supposed to be laughing, man. Real G's and gangsters don't laugh, man. What's wrong with y'all, man?
Yeah,
you
I know.
Here got me looking un-Malcolmish right now, man. What's wrong with y'all?
You look like you about to sell bean pies first. Now, let's talk about going back to the initiative. Just so people can understand what you're doing and the importance of it. And I want to add emphasis as to how people didn't take you serious in the beginning. How many applications did you have for this first round?
I ain't gonna throw people under the bus, man. We definitely didn't have a lot of applications.
I'm not actually throw people. I want you to name the number, Maurice.
That's gonna throw people under the bus, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say the applications were not what I expected them to be.
Was it less than 15?
Yeah, between 10 and 12.
I'm gonna let y'all imagination run wild on that, man.
Well, reason why. Hold on, Maurice. Reason I want the number because I want people to realize what they missed, and now next year I want to have a.
The beautiful thing about what people miss, man, I don't have to tell people publicly what they missed. They know what they missed. The people who didn't fill out the application, I will say a lot of people thought it was boo-boo. A lot of people thought I was out here talking. And unfortunately, I know that's the world that we live in, a world where people are Instagramming and they're putting on for the gram and putting on for social and trying to make themselves out to be bigger than they can be or than they are. My view on it was really simple. I can go on StockX, I can buy some shoes for $300-$400, and I can do that every 2 weeks. Or I could go put some money behind this and rally some people who also feel the exact same way. When you get to a certain point in life, man, it ain't nothing but stuff, man. That bag that's behind you, you can carry that bag till it falls apart. You don't need 30 bags. And the only thing that you're going to have left on this earth is what you leave behind. And you have to find another way to pass that torch. So that's what I decided to do, man.
What was the selection criteria for those that did apply? How did those that receive these funds? What was it that kind of
what did they have to submit?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm sure you had multiple applicants. No, you had multiple applicants. So it's like what were the things that stood above for the people that were selected?
I have no clue. I never saw the applications. I totally eliminated myself from that process because I figured that I would know a lot of the athletes. So I designed a selection committee. I had them do everything. They didn't have to run anything by me. They had 110% full control over everything that happened, man. My thing was I wanted this to be run the proper way. And the way how you could do that is with no bias. I didn't want it to be the homeboy club. I didn't want it to be I know this person's sob story, or whatever the case may be. I wanted it literally to be something for the first time in life. It was based on your merit. It didn't matter if you were a hot Instagram girl or if you were a likable guy, as far as, whatever the case may be. It literally came down to, are you a good person, and do you have the numbers? That was it. How you look didn't matter. So Will probably would have had a chance.
Hey, I tell you this. If this was an ugly contest between you three, I would lose. I know that. So first and foremost, I kind of want to go back to you said about merit and first time. Willie and Kamayu, this was their first time playing a PGA Tour event. It didn't go as we would liked or we had hoped.
Why not?
Let me say that because given the fact how I know these competitors, they want to win. They just don't want to make a cut. So by these guys not winning, I know it didn't go the way that they liked and as far as I liked, for sure. So my question is, do you feel that it possibly hurt them for another opportunity, or do you feel? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that whole question is stupid.
Okay, let's talk why it's stupid.
It's stupid because they were never going to win. I mean, who wins their first PGA start? I mean, go back in history. I'm a stats guy. I'm a fat guy. I'm a math guy. I think at the end of the day, setting that pressure on them is a recipe for disaster.
Who set the pressure on them, though, Maurice?
I mean, you're the one who just said they want to win.
Okay, so let me
hold on. You're right. Hold on. They wanted it to happen. I'm just going off your words.
Yeah, I did say that, but if you talk to the last guy that was on the show, a guy named Willie Mack, he said he wanted to win too. So there's a level of disappointment, I'm sure, correct?
Yeah,
or no?
But you have
to hold on, Mark. Or he should be happy that he played, because that's the crumbles you're talking about, right?
No. See, there's a difference, right? Every athlete wants to win, right? But you also know in the back of your brain if it's a long shot or not. Dude, I raced Usain Bolt when I was in college. I wanted to win that race. And then I was in the middle of the curb in that 200, and that secretariat or whatever you want to call him, I saw his feet, all right, and I knew what I was up against. For these young men, man, first things first is we can't put this unexpected pressure on these guys like this, man. Yeah, they can say they want to win. That's cool. I'm not saying just getting there is it, but I mean, you look at Akshay. Akshay is probably was one of the best amateurs. When he first came out there, it took him 9 starts. What you saw him doing at the AT&T on that first day, that was after 9 starts. Akshay's a beast. I've played with Akshay. I know Akshay. Willie Mack is a beast. Kamayu's a beast. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is a one and done, there needs to be a better plan that gives these gentlemen, okay, hey, man, we're going to give you 2 years, and we're going to give you maybe 3 starts 1 year and then 4 the next, or whatever the case may be, and figure out a plan that allows them to go. Because the first time you do anything in life, there are bumps, there are bruises. You might be reasonably successful, but you're not going to be the best you that you can be. There's certain things that you will learn and find out about yourself when you're under the fire. What I saw Willie Mack do that first day was absolutely amazing. Let's talk about
fantastic.
Kevin. Yeah, let's talk about Kevin Hall, what he did the first day. Absolutely amazing. And then what they found out was it was a little harder to come back the second day. The golf course may have played different. All of these different things are part of their learning experience as all this is going to go. I don't think we should look at it as a failure. What we should do is say, okay, what can we do to give them better opportunities? What are they going to go back to the drawing board or go back to their coaching staff and go back to their team and say, okay, hey, man, let's be 100% honest. Let's debrief. Let's figure this thing out. Because playing in these mini tours is completely different than playing on the PGA Tour, especially when you're getting that media attention that has all these questions for you before you go out and play. You could have somebody ask you a question that totally throws your game plan off.
The whole situation, no.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know what I'm saying, Maurice? It's like, these guys, yes, they got this one opportunity to play, right? But I want to hear you talk more about this cadence, because I believe the tighter and the more close together they can get some reps in, the better chance they have of being an Akshay. or being a Jordan Speed. You look at Jordan Speed, didn't get through Q school. He didn't get through he did make his first cut at 16. Okay, but it's 16. He could hit it. There's no, you have fun, whatever. There's no life expectancies on this guy. You know what I'm saying? But Jordan Speed had some of the same travails that we're seeing with the guys on the mini tours, but now he's ascended to this very, very high level. So Maurice, from your vantage point, what can we do from a cadence thing? Is it more corn ferries? Is it more exemptions? Is it Latin? Is it Canada? What is it?
So first thing that needs to happen is the APGA has proven themselves. So in this partnership, whoever is the Lexus Cup winner, the Tour Series winner, should be awarded spots, and it shouldn't be one spot. It should be a series. There should be a contract with the APGA Tour and either the PGA and or Korn Ferry, or maybe even both, where they say, okay, maybe we'll give you 2 PGA Tour starts, and one of them is in, let's just, for instance, use the Farmers, that's fine, or something on the Cali swing. And then you have a couple of Korn Ferries in between, and then you come back with another PGA Tour start. And that is another way of showing, number one, the partnership as far as diversity and inclusion is concerned, whatever that term really means. Yeah, we'll get on that at another level. But it shows that the guys have earned it, and that shows their partnership and their willingness to move forward with this brand. Because what you're going to find is, and this was the point in the Grow the Game, is when you have all these amazing, collegiate stars like, Mahindra Lutchman or Cameron Raleigh, Moby Dillard coming out of college, and then there's really nothing else for them to do. There's no plan. There's no pathway. They're just kind of figuring it out as they go along, or AKA on-the-job training. And we all know what on-the-job training means. You about to mess up everything. And then the question is, can you not mess it up so far to a point where you're not able to come back? And that's where a lot of people go wrong.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Exactly. I mean, it honestly kills careers when you really think about it, because in this particular area, you can mismanage money. You can get bad management who will definitely mismanage your money because they're coming in with these diamonds and money bags all in their eyes, and they're thinking you're going to come out and be all this other stuff. And it's just not real. There needs to be a better pathway for these young men and young women. And the young women, most importantly, they definitely need to have something for them. I look at the LaCaribbe is probably a good example. She's the most consistent Black female we have on the Symetra Tour. And what does her club deal look like? What do her sponsors look like? I can go down a list of situations that are out there. And remember, she came from Alabama, All-American. You look at Shasta. Shasta came out of, but when she came out of Jackson State, there was nothing. It didn't exist for her. It was zero. Right. That is a problem. And fast forward, look at Mariah. Mariah won a national championship, anchored the team, held them down, and everybody's like, oh, well, she got KPMG. But if that had been a white girl, she would have had everything under the sun. But because, number one, Mariah's Black. Let me get my thumb in there. Mariah's Black. Number two, she dark-skinned Black. Oh, God, no. I mean, she didn't get nothing. And, I mean, the color barrier still exists, man. It's not a joke. It's something real. And until we get people to recognize and respect, because we're not looking for validation no more. And that, please understand, that's one thing I'm explaining to people. We're not looking for validation. No one wants validation. All we want is recognition and respect for what we've accomplished, because we'll get the validation at home. Jackie Robinson said that. He said, I'm not here to make friends. They don't have to like me, but they're going to respect me.
That's it.
I like that.
That's what it's about.
I want to kind of touch on one other little topic. So what are you up to? I mean, besides, going to mountaintops and preaching and shit, I want to know, what are you up to, man, since Long Drive is no longer happening, and what's on Maurice Allen's agenda?
Man, change the world, man. Change this golf world. Try to walk in my purpose. Play the game, obviously. I've got a few things. Once I heal up from this injury, I'll be ready to play. Learned a lot about myself as a human being. But most importantly, man, it's all about, I've had an amazing run. I don't think that it's over, but I know there's a lot of amazing talent out there. And I need to make sure that I'm giving other people the opportunity with the platform that I have. It's not about a selfish thing. It's not about me being in front of the camera. I mean, no disrespect for the podcast, but it's not about me getting more likes, more views, more shine. There's a lot of people out there that are amazing golfers that have not gotten the opportunities that they deserve. So if I can be their voice and help other people live out their dreams, then that's what it's really all about for me.
It's amazing to see what $50,000 can do.
Absolutely.
No, I'm serious.
It's real.
It's not that much money. I mean, it's a lot of money depending on what country club membership you reside in. But $50,000 can change a lot of people's lives. And Maurice, you are doing what you say you want to do. You are inspiring folks. You might be pissing some people off along the way, but that's part of it. I know you don't give a damn about it. But thank you so much. That's really our time with you today. Hey, whatever we can do to help you and have your back, we in. Hey, Maurice Allen, thank you for going beyond the fairway.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me. Growthegame.golf. That's where people need to go. That's it.
Growthegame.golf. There it is.
There it is.
Man, I thought y'all was going to go on here. I thought this was going to be beyond the ring in this mug. Maurice Allen, you never know, man. Like, hey, look. Maurice gonna let everybody have it the same way. He got that straight bullet, no discrimination in how he talks and comes apart, man. You either love Maurice or you cannot stand that MF. I tell you what,
he is. I mean, I'm just so proud, man. The fact that he's still steady, fast, and he's still going, still has pizzazz after his sport went away. I mean, this man's sport left.
Come on, Will. You can't give it to him you can't hit him like that, man.
I mean, his sport was like my ex-girlfriend, just fed up and just left. Like, it's like this man went from hitting on grids to his sport leaving the grid. So like this man's sport left. It's like saying he was the head guy of the XFL. It just left. Like it just gone. Like his sport just gone. It's vanished.
Hey, so but you know what? Even that his sport did disappear like a Houdini trick. Kudos to Maurice.
Vamos.
Hey, kudos and shouts out loud. Because look, Maurice has understood that he has a responsibility and a job to keep those black and brown in and around the game. And you know what he's doing? He's using his platform and his words and his steadfastness and his wholeness. I don't know if I can say that. They'll probably bleep that out. My bad. But he is putting money where his mouth is. I mean, this guy is actually giving away thousands of dollars in an attempt to bring greater diversity into professional golf, and I admire him for it.
I mean, he said some good points, some good takeaways. What if the PGA or USGA kind of made me think? What if they did rebrand themselves? What if? I mean, we know the rebrand would be expensive, but I just think that basically the stuff I took from what he said, it's either a pay now or play later situation. It could hurt us in the end, in the long run, if we don't get more and more people involved, if we don't just get everything back to the point of being solid 365 days a year as opposed to 28 days out of a month, and sometimes it's not even 28 days out of a month. So I'm pretty much happy with what he's doing. He's moving the needle. He's a black Malcolm X, man. He's like golf Malcolm. We don't know
black Malcolm X. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, he's way darker than Malcolm. I mean, he's Malcolm Midnight X. But however, I just think we can all learn from him, and as he keep pushing, we're right behind him and supporting him. But he got to go first.
Every time I do talk to Maurice and I do hear the efforts that it's taken him to grow this game, I always think back to, you talk about the PGA of America being established in 1916, but yet the Caucasian-only clause not being lifted until 1961. Not that long ago, our grandfathers wouldn't have had access to play on the PGA Tour. That's only 2 generations prior. So somehow, and in some vein, I do understand Maurice's urgency for there to be these various instances, for there to be these people and these companies to support golf with minorities, because guess what? We've been excluded for so long. Absolutely. So there needs to be some I want to cuss. Can I cut? There needs to be some done on purpose. You know what? Absolutely. I don't care about the beep. They're going to beep it. There needs to be done on purpose so that we can rectify this wrong within the sport of golf. That's just how I feel, and I stand with Maurice.
And the thing about it, man, I have to say, sometimes his approach is a little abrasive, and given the fact that he just conveyed and shared his heartfelt story as far as Calvin Pete, now I kind of get understanding now. If Calvin Pete or somebody told me to keep pushing forward, I think I would probably not give a damn what anybody else think and keep moving full steam ahead. So I can understand that. So now I look at it in a different light.
Yeah, even though his sport may have exited stage left, he hasn't. So I am very excited about Maurice and what he is going to do, what he's done, and what he's going to continue to do in this game. But Will, hey, we got to get to it. We got to get to one of the most interesting parts to Beyond the Fairway, and that is the Shank of the Week.
Shank of the Week, man, is where Doug and I, we criticize and we throw our 2 pennies. It may not be right, it may not be wrong. We don't know, but we will definitely. That's how we feel, exactly. And we feel, and the thing about it is who we feel that has shanked up. And so I kind of think that we have a great topic to start this first ever segment of Shank of the Week. And that is on the comments. You were pretty popular this week, Doug. You said a comment on Golf Channel or Golf Channel IG page, and people ripped you a new one.
Yeah, I got roasted.
Everybody. I had people in my DMs like, who is Doug? Like, how do you know him? How do you deal with him? I said, hey, he's my guy, and you got to hear him out. But how ugly is this country, man? All the comments that everybody said about Willie, you, the back and forth. I mean,
it's interesting. You can't post a black man in golf without people bringing up race.
Absolutely.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't post. Like, if you look at the various, golf media pages, they posted Willie or they posted Kamayu, and the next thing was, why you gotta make it about race? Or I come here to be entertained. Why you gotta make it about politics? What I found is it was disgusting, Will. What people. People are so easy to criticize when all they use are their thumbs. I bet nobody would have said that to my face or Willie's face had they been front and center. And you know what? If you are listening to the podcast and you do want to say something to my face, we're going to open up the IG Live so we can have these conversations. That's going to be a fact. But that definitely is the Shank of the Week, Will. The fact that people spew such just disgust into the atmosphere, you know what? And to be a victim of it, hey, you know what? I'm glad I got some thick skin. It might be light, but I got some thick skin, damn it. The sad part is I wanted to be in there too. Like, man, F you, and, you know what I'm saying? But nah.
Yeah.
What's it worth? Shank of the Week. Definitely going to go to those folks who decided that, hey, my thumbs got better words than my mouth, so I'm going to use those to talk for me. Hey, keep them coming. Comment section's right here. Hey, be sure to go download, subscribe, and listen to Beyond the Fairway podcast wherever you get your podcast. We here, and we'll be back next week.
I can't wait, because I'm going to have an email set up for these guys so they can talk to me directly. Because you know what? You can't beat nobody when you ain't got nothing but time. That's all I got is time. I just sent one off. And I cursed.